USB radio, and a reverse camera's going onto it as well. I'm going to try and track down these bolts for the Lotus so I can finish the rear suspension off, get that finished, and then I can get the wheels on it, put it on the ground, put fluids in it, and we're starting the car up, so maybe that will happen today. I have a customer, an old customer from many moons ago. She's got a problem with her Skoda Octavia. No radio reception, no FM, no digital radio, so we're going to diagnose that fault as well. So a fairly busy day for a Monday with regards to quarantine. Everyone's still tucked away, keeping safe. But I will touch base with you in a bit. Just on our way to work today. But we'll get back to that after some Jay-Z sounds. Good morning everyone, how are we? You alright? So first in this morning I've got this little Fiesta, just finished it. It's had a Pioneer doubled in radio. I've put a reversing camera on for the kid and full fascia kit. So reverse camera just there, got the cables running up through the trunk and then or through the tailgate even, and then into the car. And then inside here, let's just turn that down. Steering control is obviously working, full fascia kit. We've got microphone at the top, DAB aerial, and all cables out the way. USB running through the glove box. So this one's done. Ready to get picked up by the customer. I've been doing some bits on the Lotus again this morning. So we've got wheels on, that's all good. I've got the cat pipes to connect up, well sorry, the cat plugs to connect up, like the lambda sensors. The power, ECU plugs, and then I can literally put the thing on the ground and fill it full of fluids. I haven't managed to find any of these bolts yet for the suspension that I rounded, that I chucked. This bloody 1/2 inch UNF, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. That's the one I stripped. So we need to find some of these. But I'm going to make some calls and see if I can get one quick, sharpish. And I'm hoping maybe today, tomorrow, depending on how work goes today, we'll see if we can get the thing running. But it's got, yeah, I've got oil, I've got all the bits and bobs. I might buy some more coolant, because I'm not sure how much of that I've got. But other than that, we are ready to go. It just needs his fluids putting in him and then he's good. But we'll touch base in a bit. I will crack on and I will see if I can find these bolts. And I'll speak to you in a bit. What's up everybody, how are we doing? Oh, it's on the deck. I got so close with it. We are all plumbed up, ready to go. Fuel's in, oil's in, fluids. I've got to do power steering fluid, but other than that, it is there. I've got to do a few final checks before I turn it. But it's pretty much good to go. We're on the floor, car's all there. Just kind of do the last little bits to him. Neaten up some wiring so it's out of the way. But we are good. Loving it, loving it. This little one here I've got to connect, which goes over to here. But it basically terminates to nothing anyway. It's a sort of vented pipe. Oh, good times. So I think tomorrow we should have a start. But obviously you'll be joining me for that, of course. Oh shit, left my jumper. I've got something turned up today, which I'm dead excited about. Now this is very niche and very old school. Some of you will know about it, some of you won't. It comes in the form of a DVD, and I used to watch this as a kid, and it kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. And then the good old ladies of Amazonia, I found a copy and I bought a copy. So if you're bored and you want something to do, you've got to watch it. I haven't seen it, like, bearing in mind it's been 30 years, 40 years since I've seen it. So it's probably dated, and I'm bigging it up. And it's probably not half as good as I remember it being. But as a kid, the guy was hysterically funny. It had loads of Porsches in it. It had the baddie, it had the good guy, it had the bird. It's kind of spin-off of a James Bond. But this is it. Robert Redford, Condor Man. Oh, it's so wrong, it's so right. But you need to watch it. But I am literally like kid in a sweet shop. I am going to go home and stick it on because I want to see how good or bad it is since I last saw it. I'm going to take the chaser home again. Can't believe I've run out of time for getting the car going. Never mind. Tomorrow we will be on it. So that's Monday done. Hopefully we'll have a running Lotus tomorrow, which will be dead nice if I can get that going. But I will film it. But yeah, get on it. Condor Man. You got to watch it because it is just the funniest, I hope. See you tomorrow. Morning everybody, how are we? It is Thursday today. I took a day off yesterday. I did some filming on Tuesday and Monday, but to be honest, yesterday, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but I just fancied a day off, get some time with the girls, just kind of hanging around at home. Not really getting up to much, just chilling. Got a few bits and bobs in. We did get the Lotus running, or I did get the Lotus running, but we've got issues. The plenum injectors, it's got like secondary injectors on the top of the plenum to give it extra fuel when you're kind of giving it death. One of them is passing fuel. They've not been out since I redid the engine, and they were fine last time, but now it's leaking fuel really, really badly, to the point that it actually filled up like the downpipe with fuel. And we had a bit of a scary moment because I started the car up and it literally coughed fuel all over the back of the car. So I promptly pushed the thing outside quickly because I actually thought it was going to burst into flames, which would have been a proper nightmare. But yeah, so this injector here, so how this works is you've got 4 injectors here through all the cylinders. So 1 rail there and 1 rail inside there. And then at the top, you've got 1 here and 1 there, and they're the secondaries. So this kind of primes with fuel off the back of the fuel rail, comes out here, and fuel sits up here in pressure. And then when you give it large, these injectors here, they open up and allow more fuel into the kind of intake to give you extra power. Now this, no matter whether this is on or off, is weeping fuel straight down the throttle body, and it basically filled up this turbo with fuel. And then as we started it up, it went in a rather worrying fashion and covered the side of the engine in fuel and the back of the gearbox. It was everywhere. So yeah, a bit of a squeaky bum moment, which I didn't enjoy. But it runs, but we're not it's bits of it are coming off again, because the whole point of doing this is to get the car perfect, and at the minute it's not perfect. So I am not going to be the person that runs it as is with issues, because that would just be stupid. I spent all this time getting it right. I'm not going to drive it and damage it for the sake of it. So plenum is going to come back off. We're going to look at injectors and seals and see what's going on there. And then I need to sort out the idle control valve, which is underneath the plenum. They bury it right up underneath because it's got a high idle, and I think the thing's stuck open. But other than that, I've got to do some adjustments on the gear change cable. It's okay. So we've got, you know, two problems to fix. Fueling and the gear change. But other than that, it's a runner. I didn't film it because obviously I was more concerned with checking everything out and making sure we got it right so that it didn't kill itself. And then obviously once I found the fueling problem, that was like, you know, you technically you don't need to see that on video. It was bad enough for me. But we'll get it sorted. We've got some odds and sods in today. I've got Nick coming down with his new Kia. I think he's got a Sportage. We're putting a new Pioneer in it for him. And I think there's another one this afternoon. And then maybe we'll touch base with the Lotus again. We'll get that apart, do some checks on that, because I've got bits to sort out. I've had a bit of a pisser as well. So when you do a Lotus, or when you do any kind of mid-engine car, there are ways that you have to bleed the radiators. Now on a normal car, obviously you've got an engine. Let's say this was the front of the car. You've got the engine and you've got your radiator here, so it's kind of like your water system is that. But because this is mid-engined, as in the engine is in front of the rear wheels and behind the front wheels, so the engine is in the middle, the radiator pack is at the front, which means water runs all the way down to the engine, expansion, battle, and all the way back up in that fashion. So the problem you've got is bleeding an engine here. You end up with kind of multiple places where you can have airlocks. So the way that you do it with a Lotus is you jack the front end up in the air, underneath the wheel arch, just on the top of the radiator, which is just there, take my word for it, there's a 10mm bolt. So what you do is you tip the car up, so all the air technically is going to the highest point, which would be the back. You put water in the car until water comes out this front bolt, and then you tighten that up on the radiator, and then you come backwards, and then the next point is this. This has a bleed screw on it, which then lets the air out between the kind of cross pipe from the chassis and the back of the engine, and then obviously you bleed the engine there. So there's 3 points. Now this is, or was, a kind of tapered, just like a fixing in there, you know, like a cap that you undid, water came out of it, and you screwed the thing back in. In doing so, obviously I don't want to be too fragile, I don't want to be too over aggressive with aluminium. So I used a really small bit first off from Snap-on, and obviously it just rounded the crap out of it. And then I got a bigger bit. Where's the bigger one gone? Where's that gone? Maybe I left it on the car. Or did I leave it over here? Nah, here it is. I got a bigger bit and I put that on it, and that one rounded off as well. So it's effectively fucked two things. Then we tried grinding like a tooth in it to get a screwdriver onto it. That didn't work either. So, and then the ball end wouldn't work either. So I've got like lots of damaged tools. I can't believe how weak these things are. It's not like that thing is in and in any kind of force. It's just a bleed screw. It doesn't need to be, you know, 900 foot-pounds of torque. But it wouldn't undo it, and now it's absolutely rounded off and screwed. So I don't know what we're going to do here. I've either got to completely take this pipe off, drill out and tap that, and then lose water and start bleeding it all over again, which I'm probably going to have to do because that's like the only option. Or I don't know. Maybe I can lower the water enough, as in like the water level enough, that I can undo this without water coming out of it. Put something in here that I can then drill out this, like, I don't know, maybe a hose, like put a rag in so I can block any debris going down the pipe, drill out that, tap that, pull it out, suck all the dirt and debris out, put a new one in, put it back together. I don't know. So it's another issue. That one I don't think was a kind of Snap-on's tool has created an issue, right? The thing is rounded off because the grip that I'm supposed to have with those torque bits, you know, is not present, and the tool rounded, which then, you know, ruin the internal drive of what I'm supposed to be undoing, which is it's a pain in the ass. But I've told Jody that I've got issues with some tools, and he's going to come down and we're going to get it sorted out. But I'm a bit annoyed about how weak that was. So a rather frustrating couple of days, hence why I took yesterday off. I'm not one to start getting aggy, you know. I know a lot of people that you know, kind of beat the crap out of something when they get a bit stressed. So it's my car, you know, damaging it, it's not going to create or help in any shape or form. So I just left it alone, walked away and did something else. So I took a day off, had a day off with the girls yesterday. It was great. The workshop is an absolute tip. Now we've kind of got it in and it's going and it's running, not right, but it's running. It now leaves me spec to tidy up the stink pit that is my workshop. Where'd you start? Where'd you start? But anyway, I will touch base with you later on, guys, when we've got the cars in. More new subscribers, so hello everyone, welcome along. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you'll find something to laugh at. But I'll see you soon. Bye. So our first one's done. So we've put a Pioneer in here, gone from this old style radio, this gorgeous looking thing, to a lovely Pioneer sat-nav with motorised display. Look at that. Steering controls and everything else still working. Hazard button still works. Looks good. Microphone, DAB aerial, posh. He's gonna like that. Let's go and deliver it back to him.
Bill up, then boogie to the one jam. New ting telling me she want man. Junk text my ex, I'm feeling like a dumb man. Put one under my tongue, then I nearly lost myself. I ended up in one land. Like OMG, baby shit then. Didn't think I would see you from a distance. Hey, I gotta bounce back. Everybody's blowing on the loud pack. Peng ting saying that she wants me, but who am I to say I should allow that? Anyway, this one's mad. Hands in the air when you bust that skank. If it's single, I'm ready to mingle. Step up in the dance and bust that skank like. Bust that skank like. Bust that skank like. Bust that skank like. Bill up, then boogie to the one jam. dance and bust that skank like. Bill up, then boogie to the one jam. Step up in the dance and bust that skank like. Skank with the one hand, bill up, then boogie to the one jam. New ting telling me she want man, drunk text my ex, I'm feeling like a dumb man. Put one under my tongue, then I nearly lost myself, I ended up in one land. Like OMG, baby shit then, didn't think I would see you from a distance. Hey, I gotta bounce back, everybody's throwing on a loud pack. Painting saying that she wants me, but who am I to say I should allow that? Anyway, this one's mad, hands in the air when you bust that skank. If you're single, I'm ready to mingle, step up in the dance and bust that skank like. Skank and flex, 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 skank and flex. Bust that skank like, bust that skank like, bust that skank like, bust that skank like, bust that skank like. Bill up, then boogie to the one jam.